Welcome to another beautiful episode of Two Voices, One Mic. I'm your host, Tyler Kelly, and this is...
Matt Ward.
And we are going to take you through our adventure, collectively, of the wonderful world of voice acting, narrating voiceovers, and being an overall awesome artist. So,
That we are.
this week, we are discussing some of the finer points of how we make sounds with our face. In this case, we're going to talk about that old thing that most good voice actors need to have the ability to do, accents.
What's
Ooh,
an
yeah.
accent?
Well, funny you should ask that. Accents are fun things because usually they are indicative of where people grew up on the face of the planet. They're influenced by a whole bunch of other factors, the language you speak, what kind of foods you ate in some cases. Thankfully not how you vote.
So if you burn your tongue on very spicy stuff, you're like, no, to burn my tongue. You know, that's an accent? Is that what you're saying?
It never touches the top of your mouth, and then you end up speaking like this no matter what you do. Oh my God, I had too much curry for my dinner. Oh, someone bring me some more lamb. Now, there's an entire world of accents out there. There are an endless variety of dialects, which is a step underneath language. You've got a language that people speak, and then there's a specialization within that language full of its own little cool little euphemisms, turns of phrase, and all that shit that we call dialects. A lot of that can play into accents too. But today we are going to focus on probably the most easy to do, the one that comes naturally, the one that's going to make you sound intelligent even when you're actually not, and that is the British accent. But before we dive in to adding a few easy points to your intelligence quotient, we must first understand a few principles, starting with phonetics. It's a wonderful, wonderful little thing. Now,
And tell me, what are phonetics?
well, phonetics...
Or what is phonetics? Is it an R or is?
Damn it, Jim. I'm a voice actor, not a teacher. Phonetics is a word which I think the definition is the study and classification of speech sounds. So when we talk about how we speak as humans, or I guess if you're not human and you're watching this and you want to chip in, feel free, the comments are below. How we make the sounds that we make is our phonetics. Okay, so when we're speaking English here, so if you're listening and you're listening in English, here you go. But in English, we have words that we make, and we spell them with letters. And when you're learning the alphabet, you're taught A makes the sound A and A, and there you go. And B makes B, and D makes duh. There's all the little rules that come along. Yeah, etc.
Yeah.
And so when you're reading, you train yourself to read. Like below right here, you'd look at my name and you'd say Taylor at first because you can't read. But T,
Because you can't.
Lore. So you'd say Tyler.
Tyler. Yeah,
right?
that's
Tyler
is how I say it.
These words have, these letters make that sound in your mind. You know, when you're looking over at Matthew. So your brain puts that together, and you get a word, and your mind assigns it meaning, and your mouth makes the sound, right? Phonetics is a different approach to how we make the sounds. So we're going to take a basic word for you. Matt, pick a basic word.
Climb.
Climb. Okay. Now...
That was one syllable.
It is, actually.
Like I'd already said it, and then you're like, one syllable.
I forgot to add.
Climb.
Now, so we're going to talk British in a little bit, but I'm going to use Irish to illustrate the principle of phonetics here. So if you say climb in English, it just sounds like that, right? Climb. Now, if we're going to be Irish about it, We're taking the letter I, and in an Irish accent, the I makes an oi sound, right? So what people are trying to do is they're trying to break down every single word and say, well, how do I say this word that way? How do I say this word that way? And then you see people that can just effortlessly go in between accents, and they can be French for one moment, and they can be German in another, and then they can be Russian and all these other things. How do they do that? Well, most of the time you have a study in phonetics, so you think about the sounds that are being said, in this case, climb, and instead of an I there in your mind, if you picture, you have to learn to trick your brain into making the sound that you want. So climb, if you're trying to sound Irish, for this example, try spelling it in your brain with an OI. And you get... Say it. Go ahead.
Climb.
You're going to climb the mountain, right?
Climb. Yeah,
Right?
you're going to climb. Oh, this is actually very useful information even for me, because I know that you are a master of disguises. No, I'm just kidding. A master of accents, and I feel like I only have a few under my belt that I can do well. But this is very good information to know. Oh.
Tyler's not here. We're doing other things. Yeah, so when you're...
There is no Tyler.
Only Zool. So when you're doing other accents, it's super helpful to learn to deconstruct individual syllables and the sounds instead of having to rebuild an entire language, an entire vocabulary, right? One of my favorite things, there's these things we call oral cues, where if you hear a certain sound, you'll actually start to emulate the sounds. And one of mine, which is really helpful for this phonetics thing, is the word I, like your eye, right? Now,
not like just the letter I, but like EYE, just
EYE.
to make that clear. Yeah.
Okay. Now, Matt, play along with me on this one. Okay.
Yeah.
Another word for strength is might, right?
Okay.
Right? Okay. So now you're going to say the word good, then you're going to say this word for this body part, and then you're going to say the other word for strength. 1, 2, and 3. So put them together and then say it. Go ahead.
Good I might.
Good eye, mate. How you doing out there?
Exactly.
You doing a wonderful
I
job?
had to stop myself from doing that. I had to stop myself from... I've never even thought about it that way, though. Like, good eye, mate.
Good
like,
eye, mate. Right?
Yeah, it works together really well. I've never even thought of it, like, putting it that way. I've never thought of that.
It's tricky, and it's a fun little tool that you can use to break down really any accent anywhere. What do they, this is why Irish people have trouble distinguishing liars from lawyers, right? I mean, everybody.
Lawyers.
Yeah,
Well, yeah.
if you're dealing with a lawyer or if you're dealing with a lawyer. Where do you draw the line? So that, I mean, for me, when people tell me, hey, TK, good eye, and I'll be like, might.
Might.
And they look at me because they don't know what I'm doing, and I just kind of... So that is a really basic, really condensed version of what phonetics is. And again, you can apply it anywhere you want, which is really fun.
See, I don't even, like, the only accents that I think that I'm decent at are, like, East Coast accents, but that's because I was born there, and I have family from East Coast.
What part?
So I was born in PA. I was born in Bucks County, right outside of Philly. So I was born outside of Philadelphia.
Oh, okay. So you got the Philly.
I can, yeah. I mean, I can do like the what are those guys called? Always Sunny in Philadelphia, I can do that, but I'm not going to because I want you all to be surprised. And then Jersey and Delaware and all of that. But I feel like when I'm doing like an East Coast accent, I just kind of get lazy in my talk. Like, I just kind of get lazy a little bit. And that sounds kind of East Coast, maybe Jersey, New York. But then if you want to go Boston, you got to kind of open your mouth a little bit more. I
You gotta
don't
be
know.
lazy with it. Yeah, yeah. Coming up to Boston, you got the ooh
Yeah,
instead of the ah.
but like you got the car in the garage, with Boston
Yeah, the
instead
cat.
of like New York is kind of like a little bit lazier. I don't know.
So let's take the word car here in the Boston accent. Let's hit it with phonetics, right? So we look at the word car. We're gonna get Valley Girl with it. He got my car.
Car, yeah, it
So we
turns into like 10 syllables.
so yeah. So we think about how we would spell that to make the sound right of R, right? And you could there's pronunciation guides in the dictionary when you see them see them letters with
Yeah,
all the
yeah,
cute little dots and bars that nobody but nerds know how it
yeah.
works.
Same
But
here. Yeah.
um, so we see the word R, right? And how do we make that word? How do we make the sound? How do we spell the sound? Ah, right? Well, we've got
To me, that
an
would
O,
just be AH. Ah.
AH, or O, right?
Yeah.
Either or. In this
Ah.
case, there's lots of ways to.
Yeah.
I swear that should
Yeah.
be a motto of this podcast. Is there's a
Yeah,
lot of ways
more
to
than
skin
one
the
way to
cat.
skin a cat.
But yeah, so you have an AH, right? Because you're making the sound. Right?
Ah.
But now let's say we want to do Boston. Boston. We're
Ah.
doing that right?
Yeah, I
So you've
think that
got
would be like two A's and then an H.
right? Or just
Is
like
how I would say that. Like how I would read that. But I don't know.
right? Yeah. Yeah, well, I personally would take the H away. But it's just
Okay. Yeah.
the normal A sound, right? What is the first letter that English that you learn is A. And what do they say? They don't say A makes the A sound until later when you're fucking around with E's and all this other stuff that, we're not worried about right now. But what they say
Yeah.
A makes the A sound. So instead
Yeah.
of car, you're saying car.
Yeah.
And in your case, how you're saying, but just put the H on the end, get rid of the R, right?
Car.
Car.
It's the
When I
car.
say to the car,
The car.
yeah,
In the
not too
garage.
far from the car.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I feel like with accents, a lot of people will overdo them. Like, I don't know. With my East Coast accent, I try not to make it like too blatant that I'm trying to do one. Like, I mean, just now I was, I'm doing an East Coast accent, but I'm not trying to make it like too obvious. Because if I was trying to make it too obvious, I'd go ahead and sound like the Sopranos or something. You know what I mean? But like,
Yeah.
if you make it subtle, it works better in my opinion.
Yeah, you don't want to be like uber Italian Boston Mafia. Hey, let me go throw you outside. I'll throw you in the garage. We'll throw you in the wood chipper, whatever the fuck it is. I don't care.
I mean, unless that's a character that you're portraying, but a lot of the times they're not going to be that far out there.
I agree. Sometimes you do want exaggerated characters, but I think you're right. It all comes down to believability. How natural it sounds is how natural you feel in it. So when the importance of phonetics is it lets us take, starting with the vowel sounds. I don't know. I mean, if you guys are watching this and you have some input on this, feel free to put it in the comments. We love to have engagement with people.
Please comment on this. We'd love that.
But I like to start deconstructing a language or an accent when I'm starting out by doing vowels first, because they're usually the complicated ones.
They're like the more expressive ones, right?
Yeah, that's where you're going to see the majority of the changes, because B's make buzz, cuz, does, cuz, those don't really change too much. There are accents that will drop an R, for example, or your T's are uhs, and they're just like an apostrophe there instead of the letter T.
Well, like in Utah, we drop the T for like everything, like mountain, water,
the bottom of
Leighton.
the mountain.
But yeah, I mean, most of the time it's the vowels that show the like expression, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now here's where British comes in kind of funny, right? Now, again, there's a lot of dialects of British. There's Cockney, there's Yorkshire, there's Welsh. But if you ask British people, they don't think Wales is part of England. But if you're going
You're gonna
for,
make some of our fans mad. I know a Welsh guy. He's gonna.
we ain't got nothing but love.
Yeah,
don't
it's
know
all
any
love.
sheep. So if British people are taught to accentuate and to enunciate, which is where you pronounce each letter in what you're reading, each consonant specifically. So if you relax and become British, you'll notice that your T's in classic British, the more formal arrangement of them, must all be pronounced clearly and with complete enunciation. There are no droppings of the T's in specifics as you get closer and further into your studies of British. It's not.
So would you
British.
say? Sorry to interrupt. Would you say that's like the accent that like Wesley from Princess Bride has?
That's a fun.
Because like he almost doesn't even have a British accent, but he does.
So there's
You
this
know?
thing in the
It's like a
acting-
royal British. Sorry.
Yeah,
ahead.
no, there's this thing in the acting world we call the mid-Atlantic accent. And you will see people like Carrie Elwes uses it in The Princess Bride. You'll see people like Cary Grant use it. It's all over the place. But it's not technically a British accent. It sounds like that, and but it's not actually British. It's not fully British because Cary Elwes doesn't actually sound like this. But they are saying the R's, and they drop the R's, right?
Yeah.
Right? Life is pain, Your Highness. Anyone telling you different is selling you something. It sounds close.
Yeah, it like sounds British, but it's like not quite British.
Right, and that's because in
Yeah.
the acting world, it's something that just kind of evolved.
Well, where do you
wanna
think
say
he's from? Like, where do you like? Where is he
Cary
from?
Elwes or his character?
Just him, like, because I've seen him in other things, and he sounds the same way. Well, I
Well-
mean, similar. He sounds similar, not the same exact way, but he sounds similar.
He was born in Westminster, so technically he should be
At the
speaking
college,
better.
Westminster College.
No. Westminster's a city. Shut up. Who's that guy? Man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
no,
no. I'm sure if people talk to him, I'm sure there's probably interviews out there that say where he probably admits to it that he doesn't have like perfect English. But I mean, perfect English is for people that. How do I say that they're rich douchebags without making that sound mean?
The Royals.
Oh, there we go. It's for the cultured aristocracy, the elite. Right?
Yeah, the Royals. It's for the Royals. Like some of that lock, stock, and two barrel type stuff. It's for the Royals. I don't know.
See, now you're bringing up the Cockney and the people that have been down by the docks. They've evolved this natural style of speaking in it, right?
Oh.
They drop off all the T's unless it's at the beginning of a sentence or the word in a structure, right? And so they're finding a different way of speaking, but it's the same type of language, but it's entirely fucking different, you know? It blows my mind that there's such a huge...
I think I could just sit and listen to you do accents for hours, honestly. Because you're really good, man. You're really good. Like, the
Thanks.
Irish accent, on point. The British accent, on point. Like, let's hear some more. Let's hear like a Scottish and then an Irish back to back.
All right. Well, I'll just start talking, and then you can name some, and we'll just see what I can do.
All right, Scottish.
So I believe you said to start with a Scottish accent, and that's what I'll do first. I'll be talking about how I was driving home in my car, and it was slightly foggy outside. I couldn't see much, but I did
Let's go
like
Irish.
the fact that my seatbelt was on, and I felt safe. And it was warmer in there, see, because I had the bun grill thing. I can't remember quite what it's called. I think it's a seat warmer, as it were. Talking to a lovely lady.
Valley Girl.
She was like the hottest girl I have like ever seen. Okay, she was just like so incredibly. I was like, called her and I said, "Do you know you're hot?" Like, oh my god, lady, you're just like, where do you get your hair done? So, anyways, we were talking about her and her mother and how her mom likes to, well, go
Royal
shopping.
British.
And I found myself quite intrigued by the fact that she had forgotten her purse. So, being the gentleman that I am, I did suggest that she used a credit card to make her purchases, not quite online, but rather in person.
Good job. Good job making up the whole story while doing that. See, for me, it's hard to do, like, sorry, pardon me, like, to think about what I'm going to say and do an accent. So, like, you were making all of that up while doing an accent. So that is something to applaud.
It's fun. It's I think that's the hardest part sometimes is when people want you to talk, especially when they find out that you do voices. They're like, "Will you do this accent?" And you go, "Yeah, what do you want me to say?"
Yeah, what do you want me to say? Exactly. Yeah.
I think the only thing you can do in that point is just like trying to say something topical and that they're interested in that you're talking about already, you know?
Just ramble on. Just ramble.
You go, "Hey, have you ever heard me do my mime impression? Listen to this."
So, phonetics. I mean, because like you're obviously you're very, very good at accents. Now, you've kind of already broken it down how you do them, but talk to me like I'm 5 years old and tell me how you do accents.
Well, when I find a person or an accent that I want to do, I like to listen to it a lot.
Okay.
So that I have it on the record bank up here, and then I open my mouth and press play on the record. So basically, listen a ton, dive in, immerse yourself in whatever voice that you want to do, and try it out.
Do you practice said accent a lot?
It depends. Some of the time, things come easier to you. Some voices are natural for people. And it's not always a linear thing, like what you were saying. You're like, well, I'm from the East Coast. East Coast accent's really easy to do.
Yeah.
That happens. Yeah. Or, like in my case, I had a layover in London a couple times, but I've never really been there. But British is actually quite easy to do, and it comes somewhat naturally to me, and I can speak it quite well. And on top of it all, a character I happen to love, Batman, is Michael Caine, and his voice comes so naturally. It's wonderful. So like, you just got to try it out, and how are you gonna know if you don't try? So like, people sing in the shower, that's where I'm doing it, or like when I'm talking to friends or something, that's where I'm gonna do it, Don't be afraid to hit him with the, "Hey Peter, nice gag,"
Like, your grandfather had this watch up his ass for years. No, that was a terrible Christopher Walken. Never mind. Let's edit that part out.
Though.
Let's edit that out.
We'll cut that out later.
Yeah, wink. We don't edit this at all.
I was talking to somebody about how to do a good Christopher Walken, because he's actually one guy that
I can typically do a really good one, but that one was just terrible. But sorry, go ahead.
They've always said that to me. They said to me that the trick was to put commas where they don't belong.
Yes.
And so you want to take, and I am terrible at doing this because my walk-in is awful, but the commas where they don't belong is.
Well, I've heard that sometimes you can do okay if you just believe in yourself. No, I don't know. I don't know, man.
You're walking into dangerous territory now, partner.
You're walking into dangerous territory. The whole body has to get into it.
Oh yeah, if you ain't dancing with your voice, you're doing it wrong.
Jeebus Cripes.
Oh, we should not have done that. We should not have said that.
Now everyone's gonna be dancing.
Hope so. Dance in the comments too. Like, share,
Dance to the
subscribe, of course.
music. Oh, wait, no, that's listen to the music. Never mind.
Don't worry, it's not copyrighted. You're good. You're good.
No, nothing's copyrighted now.
Mess up that many
But
words,
hopefully it
nobody's
will
gonna know
be
what says
soon.
anyways.
Hopefully.
Wait, what?
No, hopefully we'll have some sponsors soon.
Oh yeah, I'm down with that. So bringing it kind of back around. Start with vowels. Think about the sounds that they say, rather than the words that you're making. Try to spell the sound that you want, and you'll have a much better time breaking down the language. And practice. You got to listen. You got to become the voice that you want to be. You know? I remember.
So what was? Oh, sorry. What was
go ahead.
the good I might? What was it that you had me do? Like this and like this.
Might. You remember
Oh,
your
might. Yeah.
Might.
Yeah, like that. That's a
'Cause-
really cool thing to think of that I've never thought of before.
Mhm.
Good I might.
Right.
But then you say it a little bit faster. Good I might. You know.
Right.
Sounds it sounds American.
Right. It sounds American.
No,
Well,
it sounds
a lot of the
Australian.
A's in Australian are I's, right? So you take
Oh,
something
is
has-
that the thing?
Well, not all of them, but yeah, I mean it's.
But a
huge
lot of
company.
like more so the I's or A's.
Yeah, I mean they're either hard as, they're as like an E.
They've got
or
hard
I like
asses.
an
So
Yeah,
you
a
could
bunch
bounce a
of hard
quarter.
asses.
You could bounce a quarter off them asses.
I. You flick it and it'll. You know, that kind of thing you hear from the pin when it spins. I think I got one in here somewhere. but-
Anyway,
Yeah, so if you speak in Australian, there's a lot of A's and E's and I's in random places, and it's a bit harder to speak in that way, especially when you don't know what in the hell you're saying. But you see, when I say an A, it's an I, right? I don't know what I'm saying, right? So
Yeah,
it's
well,
interesting.
just listen to a bunch of Jim Jeffries and you'll get it. You know.
Bro, I'm gonna go Crocodile Dundee on that all day. That's not a knife. That's a knife.
Hold on, I got a knife over here.
Gonna go on a
No,
walk
that
back
wasn't
in the
wasn't
woods.
quite Australian. That was something.
Got to
Oh.
lay back in your voice, pretend you're lazy, but you work really hard. I got nothing but love for you guys from Australia. I mean, the most beautiful women, a great country, fantastic. Aborigines kind of scare me a little bit, but it's just because I know that I'm not going to be that cool.
Yeah, well, I mean, they're a lot tougher than we are. Like, by far. So,
Absolutely.
much respect. Just, you're a little bit scary.
Yeah.
Because you could easily take me, even the women and children.
Absolutely. Oh,
You
yeah.
could take me out back and
Take you out back. I see what you're doing there.
take me out back.
How do you didgeridoo what you didgeridoo? You're not an official hipster chick unless you have a didgeridoo you don't know how to play.
Facts. Or a ukulele that you don't know, that you only know how to play Somewhere Over the Rainbow on. That's a
Hey.
hipster chick thing.
My mom has a ukulele and she can play the crap out of that. Absolutely beautiful.
Well,
singing
I'm
voice.
just
If you're
saying
watching
she-
this, Mom, I wanted you to know that I plugged you in this one.
Fair. I'm just saying the hipster girls only know how to play one song
Yeah.
on the ukulele.
But is Israel Kamaka we will ole. That's a fun accent now that we're talking about that. The
What
poly.
was that one? The Hawaii?
Got to let back a bit. Be speaking about my cousin Vicky.
Like South African? What are you trying to do right
No
now?
way, man. Problem with me and doing poly is I get too close to Jamaican and then I slip, and now I'm from the islands and we're gonna have a good time. Everything I remember, yeah. I'm going to smash your blood clot, Yugi.
See, I don't even try and do all those because I'm just too embarrassed. But I think the thing is, you just have to not be embarrassed.
I think you got to practice being okay with being embarrassed. You know, because you are gonna screw up. You are gonna do stupid crap. You're gonna try something, and it's gonna suck. And people are gonna look at you and they're gonna be like, "Will you shut up and never talk again?" And you gotta be okay with that because that's just part of the process.
But then
You know, like,
eventually you'll do it and people will be like, hey, 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 say it like that again. Or
people
like,
be
say it
"Who the
like
hell let
this.
in Bob Marley. What is
Yeah, or like, let me just yell out accents to me and I'll do them like what just barely happened, yeah.
I think embarrassment is a pretty, in a backwards way, important part of the process of growth. I think, like, oh my gosh, I just think about when I was learning how to speak German, because like I butchered that poor language.
Wie sagt man? Ich Kaiser. All of it is.
Ich kann nicht in Deutschen sprechen. Meine Grammatischen ist scheiß.
You need a lot of
Half
phlegm.
Half mich.
You need a lot of phlegm for German, I think.
Yeah, well, gotta be good with the tongue in the back of your throat, I guess.
There's something in the back of your throat. Oh,
Full drink in your cup. I think I'm gonna just start doing this when I run out of responses to that kind of stuff. But
so. If we were to just start doing the glasses, dude, I have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different sunglasses hanging up over here. Do you want a sunglass off? Because I can.
oh man, oh, I would love to. I didn't even grab my cool ones. These are just the standards. Oh shit. Okay, hold on. If we get to choose.
These are like the there's only one way off this this mountain type glasses, There's only one way off these. Like my name is Chad. There's only one way off this mountain.
Oh, we're doing Chad glasses? Okay, hold on.
Well, I mean, I've got a lot of different ones. There we go.
I'm ready to do this. We gotta get this line or what?
Snap, dude.
Oh yeah. I bought these a long time ago when I was with this girl. She hated them, so I wore them every day.
When you're
We're not
chadding
together
it up? No, I like those.
Heck yeah. All right.
Hey, they're like the same except yours are white and orange and mine are not.
I wear them to hide the fact that I lie to women. Welcome to Two Voices, One Mic, where we audition and model excellent pairs of sunglasses. Our sponsors are Ray-Ban and Viper, as well
And
as...
Oakley and also Raycon and Ray's Shadow Legends and Factor that's owned by... Who are they owned by now?
Probably
that
Blizzard
other
or
food place.
Disney
No, they're
I
owned
got
by they're owned by somebody. And
right,
also when you get really sad you can like go and look for better help.
We care about you. Try BetterHelp today and avoid running up the business line on your wrist.
Yes.
These are the lockup edition sunglasses that you get.
The lock.
These are commissary coppers, as we call them. Straight from the hood of Misunderstood. All right, now back to yes. All right, you know what? We're doing this. I don't care. Okay.
Yeah.
Now that we look super
No,
awesome,
we look
back to
so
being-
dapper, Dan.
Back to being British now. I want to touch base real quick on the dialects of British. So, like we mentioned before, there's tons of different styles of British accents, right? And I think for anybody that's starting, I would recommend practicing High British first because it's going to help you with your elocution, which is how you speak.
High
words,
British, so
your
like the Royal
enunciating.
British.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Because then you're going to get a feel for your own bloody
Absolutely.
tongue. You're going to feel all of the consonants and the vowels. And the thing about it is, English was made by the British, of course, without getting into some sort of linguistic debate. So what they want you to do in High British is pronounce everything. Everything. All the vowels, all of the consonants, everything. So you have to take your time and pronounce things like you're about to have a cup of Earl Grey.
I don't even know what Earl Grey is. I thought it was. I thought you were just gonna say tea, but you just made it super fancy on me.
Oh, Matthew, you make me laugh so very much. Earl Grey is a black tea that I drink on the Enterprise.
It's actually really, really tasty tea. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, so if you start there, though, if you start at High British, then you'll be able to be aware and you'll feel everything out, right? And then you can start eliminating things and you can have real fun. And then you can start butchering things. And then before you know it, you're in Liverpool, or maybe you're in Leeds, because now you've got the ability to just chop things out that you don't like. You take your THs, blend them into the F, and now it's not a thing, it's just a thing that you're going to say. Oh, I cut something, hit my thumb. I fell down the stairs, hit the table, and what are you doing? What are you putting those down? That's the one. Oh, that's the one. That's done it. That's done it. Don't he look like a right champion and a gentlemanly luck, ain't it? I have a lot
No, I
of
was
fun
just
with
trying to make
Cockney.
you laugh, and I think I put on like 7 different sunglasses there.
I wondered how you did it. Like, every single one of them was different.
I
I've
know.
already gone through my whole wardrobe. I got like 3.
I have too many.
Put this on my wish list.
It
Get
just
TK
depends on my,
sunglasses.
my feeling. They're all from Walmart. They were like $10, so it's all good.
They were so cool.
So, to bring it all back to the beginning, phonetic and accents. Don't think of the single word. Think of, and correct me if I'm wrong, it sounds like think of how that certain accent pronounces certain vowels.
Spell the sounds. Yeah, spell the sounds that you want to make.
What if
Hear
you
the
don't know how to
sounds of an
spell?
accent. Then we're here. We're available. Charge a nominal fee, and we will guide you happily. It's,
Fair.
I'll link my Cash App or something down below. But just pay some attention. Spell it out. How are they saying ooh? Are they saying O's like the East Coast version of water, which is water?
Water.
Right.
Yeah, you get some water and
Water.
coffee.
Coffee.
Give me some
talk.
water and coffee, and then we'll be good.
I told my mother that I would drop a beat for coffee talk. 555-4444. You're gonna love it, and Barbara, she will be so proud of you, dear.
That's like I don't even know what that is. But in New York, there's just so many accents
There's a
in
lot.
one.
And you're gonna talk about it like you're from up north, further in the Manhattan area, down there near the Bronx.
Well,
where you
in
say
Staten
Jersey.
Island, you got Staten Island where people talk like this. Like on Family Guy. They're from Staten Island.
Oh, so now we're gonna bring the New Englanders into this here, Chris. I see. Wonderful.
Wow.
But if you're from New York, it's Jersey. But if you're from across the river, then it turns into Jersey, and you're talking a little bit more exaggerated, like, and it hits a little differently. You always when the EIs tend to eyes. It's the weirdest thing I've ever heard. I still don't understand it, but Rizzo the Rat, he's from Jersey, and that's how he speaks there.
I think it's like a blend of just so many accents because of Ellis Island, you know? Like, if we're just talking for real, um, like, there's like a lot of Italian in it and there's a lot of Irish, but they're all like together in one.
You think about that mix. You got the fighting Irish and the spicy Italians.
Yeah, you got some spicy fighters, man. Or some fighting spicers, I don't know.
Like Gangs of New York all over again.
Hell yeah.
Great
DDL?
movie.
Great,
Mhm.
yeah.
Oh, he's a legend.
Oh,
He's a
yeah.
legend.
Like, I drink
The
your
fighting
milkshake.
rabbits will come around and save us from every turn. I love Liam Neeson as though he were my own father.
I'm just kidding. I love you, Dad. Please. Dad doesn't respond to my texts. Not even.
Yeah, Liam Neeson doesn't respond to your text, but your dad does, so.
Yeah. Of the two of them, my dad doesn't have a restraining order, so. Just kidding. Oh boy. I've only. We're not gonna get to drama on the podcast. Dad, if you're watching this, I love you. We would like to thank all of our subscribers and our legal advice team.
And our future sponsors.
As long as it doesn't end with a PD somewhere, I'm happy about it. There we go.
Yeah, yep.
Well, I think just as a parting note, I would encourage our listeners, our viewers, just get out there, practice, have fun with it. You can learn so much better if you're having fun than if you're trying to compete or trying to, just get out there, find something you want to do, have fun with it. Go try to be Irish for a little bit or set up a
Actually,
world
that
map and
reminds
throw
me
a
of a
dart
really
in it
quick
and try.
story. That reminds
Hit
me
it.
of a real quick story. So, my buddy in high school, he and his mom was English, like straight from England. And so we went to the mall, and the whole time we spoke in an English accent. And we were waiting in line and we were speaking in an English accent. People asking where we were from, yada, 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 yada. And then out of nowhere, we were just like, all right, we're done. We're done. And we started speaking back in an American accent. And people in line like turned around and looked at us like, what did I just witness? But yeah, go out, try it. Just try it. Have no shame. Be shameless. Like the TV show, Shameless.
Great. That's an old school reference at this
Yeah.
point.
Yeah.
I know you were there when we did this. We literally did set up a freaking world map on the wall, and we would throw darts at it. And wherever that dart landed when we were going out for the evening, that's where you were from. You make the character, have fun. You're going to be, oh, it looks like you're French. So you get to be really good at running. I've never seen Matt get more phone numbers than that night, ladies and gentlemen.
A lot of phone numbers. That was
I
bad.
mean, 80% of them were dudes, but
Well, hey, it's
Not the
a
best
phone
bad.
number is a phone number, man, and their mouth. Oh wait, never mind. I'm not going to finish that.
I'm not working. Well,
Yep.
on behalf of everybody, and on that wonderful note, I want to thank everybody for tuning in to another episode of Two Voices, One Mic. I'm Tyler. This is Matt.
Hello.
And we
Goodbye.
will see you guys next time. Yeah. Toodaloo.